Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new life.
Folks, welcome to Daytona International Speedway for the very first race, the Veterans for Life ARCA Series here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got Dean Biggles, the Australian. Folks, we are back for some great racing with the Goat Locker Racing Series here on Thursday nights. And Dean, I'm telling you right now, I am absolutely pumped up for this race here at Daytona. You know me, I love this super speedway type of racing. Anything can happen at Daytona.
You love it. I love it. We've been here a few times this week, actually, for the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And of course, yeah, Australia, mate. Yeah, Australia and States. Oh, Australia and America. There you go, together here in the booth, bringing the Veterans for Life ARCA series at the moment. The drivers are getting those hot laps done and dusted under the belt there on the low qualifying at the moment. Jamie looks like he's at the top of the timesheets, but we'll see how everybody else is going to pan out there, Jake.
Yeah, it's gonna see. We're gonna see what is gonna happen here tonight, and folks. Obviously, you know, I mean, we had the Goat Locker Truck Series last season with the Jam Printing and Promotions Truck Series. Everything's completely flip-flopped here. Here as of late, but now we've got a brand new title sponsor, brand new series, and brand new cars out on the racetrack, and it's going to be a fun blast. I mean, you know, a lot of great sponsors have jumped on board this season, and we're going to try to get to some of those sponsors for you folks out there, starting with the Veterans for Life Foundation, which is the title sponsor for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. The primary mission of the Veterans for Life Foundation is for the purposes of both revitalizing communities and supporting military veterans and their families successfully transition back into civilian life by providing permanent affordable housing for veterans and their families through supportive services, counseling, and education. They are the primary sponsor of this series that you are watching here tonight at Daytona, the ARCA series that runs here on Thursday nights. They also sponsor quite a few veteran drivers within the lead. Jamie Perkins, who's going to be out here on the racetrack tonight, has been instrumental in this partnership, and he is a partner of the Veterans for Life Foundation. So go check them out wherever you can find them at on the internet. I mean, well, obviously on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, on the internet, browser, whatever you got, folks. I mean, go check them out because they are the title sponsor of, like I said, the Veterans for Life ARCA series. And just as I finally got that sponsoree, Dean, in, here we go. We got everybody lined up on the grid. And how about this? Jamie Mullins, a lot of drivers, a lot of fans out there that have watched when it was the Jam Printing and Promotions Truck Series. They will remember this guy right here, Jamie Mullins, who was in the playoffs last season, is going to start on the pole. A lot of new drivers also in this field, though. Tanner Bethia will start in the second spot. Jeremiah Holt will start third with Wesley Lynch in fourth. Brandon Wallace will start fifth with, guess who? The owner, Patrick Trebek in the 07. He will start sixth. Jamie Barkus will start seventh. Chris Sawyer will start eighth. Jake Ellingson will start ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be Andy Kurtz.
Over to you next. What'd you call gladiators, my friend?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chance Taylor will start 11th. Alex Cruz will start 12th. James Goshen, who was also in the playoffs last season, he will start 13th. John Anthony will start 14th. Will Bethia will start in the 15th spot. Doug Ellingson will start in the 16th spot. Cody McElwain will start 17th with Johnny Cofield in 18th. Then Cameron Mason will be 19th. And Patrick Dixon rounds out the top 20 the rest of the field. Bobby Germain will start 21st. Matt Knights, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, 22nd. And then Mark Hollifield will start 23rd. And Dean, I'm telling you right now, I see a lot of drivers out here, brother. A lot of drivers out here. Some that we seen last season. Some drivers, this is their first time out here at Daytona. And Dean, as you said earlier before we went live, this is like your sixth broadcast here at Daytona. What can we expect, or sixth broadcast this week, rather. What can we expect out of these bad boys out here in these ARCA cars out here at Daytona?
Well, I expect hopefully not that many cautions, because it's been actually quite good throughout the week there of cautions. Not that many actually. We haven't had to go like, green, white checkers and stuff like that there, and drivers have been bringing it home there. 2 filing abreast most of the time there. Sometimes you'll see 3 in there. Ray's out there, of course. I was talking to you about that in the green room, isn't it? I was like, Ray has to be out there supporting. Of course, the likes of Dougie, no doubt there, and Jake that are there for the family. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Different cars, different, same track, of course. But, trucks and all sorts of jazz. Next gens, of course, that we had here. Now we have the ARCA series. I don't know. I think if they all behave themselves and go 2 file abreast there, they should be good to go. There, Jacob. You never know, my friend. It's Daytona.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I think what's going to end up happening, I think everybody may be calm right off the bat. Everybody's going to go ahead and try to get those, I guess you could say, pregame jitters out of the way. And then, honestly, what I'm thinking, Dean, when he gets about that last 5 laps, I think all hell's going to break loose because everybody knows they got a shot to win here at Daytona. Pace car is off. Jamie Mullins on that front row, and he's going to get on the gas. Tanner Bethia is going to be right on his outside. Green flags in the air. Jamie Mullins on the bottom. Tanner Bethia, he is up on the top side. Everybody trying to get up to speed right here, Dean, as they're heading into turn 1. And now here comes Jeremiah Holt. He's going to get up on the back bumper, see if he can try to help Tanner Bethia maybe get this top lane working. But down on the bottom, here comes Brandon Wallace trying to give all the shove he can to Wesley Lynch.
The top lane were working quite well in yesterday's Goat Locker series. So we'll see how it pans out. You get hung for dry on the inside. In fact, they're doing it to the last season's champion as well, too. They're not allowing him to get a bit of a push there. The other 2 drivers were working together brilliantly and got the job done. But at the moment, the inside lane is working quite well. Jamie on the outside, Tanner on the inside, and Jeremiah and Wesley are running in the second and third row.
Yeah, everybody's basically right now pace pace formation, if you want to call it that, Dean. And Jamie Mullins trying to lead this bottom lane for Tanner Bethea, trying to muster up whatever he can. As you see everybody basically really content, everybody just holding it down. You see a little bit of action going on back here. That is the 86. They got completely squirry back there all by himself. That's Cameron Mason. He's able to save it, but he's going to absolutely lose the draft. Actually, matter of fact, he is going to lose the draft because he just straight up checked out. He has manually disconnected, so he's completely out of this thing. But while that's going on, Tanner Bethea on the top side trying to get Wesley Lynch to maybe give him a little bit of a shove, try to go ahead and get clear of Jamie Mullins. But Mullins trying to fight back as hard as he can with Jeremiah Holt right behind Bethea, trying to give him all he can get as they are working themselves into turn one once again.
Good wheel racing there, the 20 to the 66 there, the 32 and the 33 out there. Brady the Brothel, of course, the boss man. I did change it over there to laps and not time, so 30 or 40, that's all good to go. It was that solo accident, so he jumped back in the pit road or retired from the session. Matt and Mark, the 22nd and 23rd machines, have not started this race, so it is what it is. At this point, we have 20, give or take there, 20 there, Jacob. So we're all switching around Daytona.
Yeah, Matt right there and Mark, if they want to have a shot at this, then they got to be praying for a whole lot of cautions to try to get back in this thing because, like I said, they're not even on the grid. They ain't even on pit road, so hate it for them, but we're seeing some fantastic racing up front. And Tanner Bethea, he has not chose to jump down in front of Jamison Mullins right now, or Jamie Mullins for that rather. And, I can see why. The top side, it has a lot of momentum up there. Obviously, Jeremiah Holt trying to give Bethea as much as he can. But this inside lane is starting to work to Jamie Mullins' favor right now as he's getting all he can get from Wesley Lynch. Everybody pretty much just feeling this race out right now, Dean. Everybody just trying to be very, very easy. Like I said a while ago, I think everybody's just wanting to be very calm. Just go ahead and get to about the lap 35 mark. And then it's like I said, at that point, all hell's going to break loose. And we don't know what's going to happen at that point. We'll just have to watch and find out. But right now, Tanner Bethea has the lead, hasn't jumped down yet as we start lap 5.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to get those green flag pit stops. That's going to be the ones that bite you. It actually happened, believe it or not, yesterday. I think Ray will actually tell you that one. That I think it was either Jake, if I'm not mistaken, or Doug. They boxed one lap before the caution came out, and then zoomed on by as everybody else went pit road. So it's all about the right timing at the right place. If you get that lucky pit stop, somewhere sensing something is going to happen, and of course he jumped right out back up to the start of that caution when that went green flag racing again. So well, we'll see how it pans out for the rest of the drivers. But then again, we thought he was hung for dry there. Don't go boxing down a pit road by yourself. But it all panned out in the end.
Yeah, you don't want to be hung out to dry, Dean. There you go, hung out to dry. You don't want to be like that right there. But, and I'll tell you this much. Everybody right now in the field, nobody is hung out to dry right now. Tanner Bethea still trying to hold it down up there on that top side. Jamie Mullins, he's able to get a little bit of momentum and be able to clear out. But from what I'm saying right here, Dean, the bottom lane's able to get something going coming off the corner, but then by the time they hit the straightaway or say going into the corner, middle of the corner, that's when Jamie Mullins is able to get going and get some momentum. But then by the time they come out of the corner, then you got Tanner Bethea, you got Jeremiah Holt, all those guys on the top side, they're able to carry at the momentum. So basically it's a stalemate right now. It's just going to be who's going to get aggressive, who's going to try to make that shove and try to be able to push somebody, get them clear, and then try to make a move. And folks, with these ARCA cars, these cars are completely different than what you would see on Saturday, Sunday, with the next-gen cars or where the Xfinity cars, because these cars, if you look right there at the front bumper of these bad boys, they are like a snowplow. And I'm telling you right now, if they end up getting up into somebody's back end, you see the back end's actually kind of kicked up a little bit. That's just how the car model is. If that front bumper, or snowplow rather, ends up getting up in behind the back bumper of that car, it can easily, you can basically take the front guy for a ride. You can take him to the left, you can take him to the right, you can take him all the way to the damn popcorn stand, wherever you want to take him at that point. That's what you're going to end up being in, but somebody's going to have to get to that point to where they want to try to make a shove, and that's when aggression's going to pick up, That's when all that's going to happen. and then that's when you're probably going to see the big one here at Daytona.
They call them rhubards in Australia, my friend. That's what you slap on the front of your truck there, or your car, of course. And then that big kangaroo jumps out in the middle of the night there because of the headlights, and then bingo, you knock it out. But I think, what's the other one that the trains have? The cattle catchers at the front at the train, right? The little the pointy thing that knocks everything off the railway lines. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, right? Obviously. So you're going to be very careful with a little bit of that push shoving, as you mentioned there. It's delicate, these vehicles. They're very delicate.
Yeah, I mean, and while I was explaining every single bit of that right there, Dean, Tanner Bethea actually chose to get out from in front of Jeremiah Holt and jump down in the middle. But guess what? He's going to get absolutely screwed. He's going to go all the way to the back. They're going to split him. Tanner Bethea, who was leading at one point on the top side, jumped down to the bottom. And guess what? They're going to try to send him all the way to the back. As now he just absolutely killed this outside lane. Jeremiah Holt.
Now he got a drop. He got a drop.
Everybody trying to hold up, but he's going to be able to pull him back a little bit. Wow, I'm telling you right, honestly, I thought Tanner Bethea was absolutely gone right there, going back. Usually, Dean, you see that right there. You usually see when somebody gets into that sucker hole, as we like to call it, they end up going straight to the back. But I maybe just my hole. Maybe they just trying to help.
Yeah.
Obviously, Richard Trebek up there, I think they may have had that planned out to try to help. But they
You break it up a little bit there, Jacob, but we got bits and pieces of what you said about that exactly. Well, it did happen on the Goat Locker series last night, where you did get hung for dry completely in that middle lane, and I guess that side draft really did benefit him, because then he came back there, his teammates, well, everybody else is your teammate essentially at this point, with so many laps to go, 30 at least. But yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble and then back out just like that in the front of this. But where's he going to go? 33 on the outside, 66 up in the inside there of Jamie, and then you got 32, 07, 99. Of course, they keep an eye out there for Patrick Breck, as you mentioned. Get it done there. Jake, of course, just to let Ray out there know what's happening at the moment. Jake's down there in 10th place. And 16th place is Dougie, that she mentioned. Dougie was the one that took that gamble, that pit stop last night, my friend. One lap earlier and getting back out to the lead of the race. Didn't unfortunately finish in that situation later on, but hey, at least you get to lead a couple of laps, especially with your family member right next to you. They were 1 and 2 at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people, when they get out there in the sim, that's what they're, that's what maybe their goal is to get out there, go ahead and lead some laps, get some points, because that's, what we're going to end up talking about in May when we get all the way to the championship race. It's going to be about points. And I'm going to tell you right now something that's really freaking these drivers out that we may want to start talking about. Tanner Bethea was blinking, and Jeremiah Holt, he had enough of that, all that blinking. He's going to ship it to the top side. He's going to bring Patrick Trebek with him. Finally, after 12 laps, they finally get out of pace formation, and now Patrick Trebek may be looking for 3 wide, maybe not, but Tanner Bethea real hard down on the door of Jeremiah Holt, trying to see if he can pull him back. Wesley Lynch up there on the top side, but for a second right there, Dean, this almost got absolutely crazy right there, as we thought we may end up see something crazy happen right there.
Yeah, you can gamble with the 3 if you've got a lot of patience with the rest of the drivers around you. I tell you what, isn't it? Tanner loves being in the middle lane there with everybody else around the outside of him. He's dicing with everything he possibly can here for the Yahoo machine there, the 20. Back into the lead of this one, Jamie on the inside. They're having fun, and they're doing a grand job at the moment. They're 13 to 40, of course, 28 to go. We not like to see that green flag race. In fact, I'd love to see green pit stops, because that's going to definitely spice it up. And once again, we can see an opportunity where the not drivers are going to take that gamble in, go in alone or not. So far, so good. No changes, believe it or not, there, Jacob, in the top 12. Same place as they started out. There's a switch a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's like I said, we've seen a little bit of crazy stuff happening up here at the front with Tanner Bethea up here, with Wesley Lynch, with Jeremiah Holt, with Jamie Mullins, and Patrick Trebek also smack dab right in the middle of it as well. And Brandon Wallace, how about him up here at the front as well? Everybody pretty much, like I said, that's what I'm seeing right here. Everybody basically just holding their own. Everybody just holding up right now, just waiting till the last point. But eventually, somebody's going to end up having to try to make that move. I'm telling you, even, Carl Lynch, he sees it in here as well. And, he sees it right here in the chat. He says, yep, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. A wreck's going to happen. I'm telling you, they will get aggressive. They will try to make that move. They will try to get a little bit crazy. Maybe try to take it 3 wide. Hell, even 4 wide at this point. Somebody's going to make that move. Somebody's going to get tired of riding in line. We got 26 laps to go. They won't make that move.
Oh.
As now Tanner Bethea, they had enough of it. They're going to kick him to the top side at this point because Wesley Lynch had enough of it. He's going up to the top side. He's going to send Tanner Bethea back. Patrick Trebek's going to follow him. And now Tanner Bethea finds himself in a completely different spot. Now they can't let him in because now he's behind Wesley Lynch and Patrick Trebek.
They've shut the door, my friends. You don't leave your door open, otherwise you're going to get burgled, and that's exactly what's happened at the moment there. So as you can see, Patrick, once again, 3 positions gain. I was about to say nobody changing. Now they're getting a little bit loosey-goosey on the rear end there. Is that the tyres starting to get a little bit worn out there? Which one is your main culprit? Which is the one you want to take to dinner and buy a nice dinner and some flowers?
I'm telling you right now, honestly, I think it may have a little bit to do with the tires. Could be a lot of air, to be honest with you, Dean, because a lot of these guys, like I said, they are so close. Just about as close as they're probably going to be all season long. They're closer than the cars out in the virtual parking lot or in your real Walmart. That's how close these guys is right now, racing against one another. And that really can affect the air. It can really, get down on somebody's door and really suck them around or suck the back end of the car around. You could end up spinning them out. So, I think it has a lot to do with the air. It could be a little bit with the tires, but, Daytona, honestly, Dane, it's not one of those tracks like an old Atlanta or a Darlington. Those tracks, they will absolutely eat your tires up alive 9 ways to Sunday. This track, Super Speedway racing here, Talladega, you could throw new Atlanta in there, but, tire wear starts to play into that as well. But, Daytona and Talladega is not necessarily a track where, or either a track, rather, that would be tire wear at this point. It would all be about the fuel. And, it's like I said, I'm going with the air, but I think maybe everybody's just a little bit. Right now, Dave, just a little bit. Everybody just getting a little antsy. Seeing all this go on, everybody's going to start to get that aggression picked up. 23 laps to go.
I trust your judgment there, Jacob, because you also race on the Monday night series as well, too. So, trust in driver. I'd been this thing in the fence in the first corner, my friend, so don't you worry about that. I trust in your judgment, as well as everybody else in the chat, keeping us occupied here for our Thursday night evening here. Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series. Veterans for Life Foundation, of course, is the sponsor. 07 leading that one, 33 and the 20 on the outside. Still Tanner hanging in there, but Patrick up into the lead of the race. He just can't stand being in the pack, can he? He needs to be in the front. That's what Patrick likes. But Wes is given a run for his money.
Yeah, he's going to try to do that. Wesley Lynch able to jump down in front of Jamie Mullins. And now Trebek's going to end up leading this top side. And guess who's right behind him? Yeah, folks, you guessed it. Number 20, Tanner Bethea right behind him. And now we're starting to get some guys that's going to start to slide up here that we haven't really seen. Chris Sawyer, haven't talked about him. He actually started 8th. Now he's up to 5th. Eddie Kurtz, he started 10th. He's all the way up to 7th. Not a lot of big movers, I guess you could say. The one driver that I am seeing that's made the biggest moves here in this race has been the 6 of Cody McElway. He started 17th and he's all the way up to 13th. But, everybody basically in this 2-wide formation right here, Dean. Nobody's really making a whole lot of moves. Everything's just kind of just holding it down at this point. It's like I said, it's going to be when somebody starts getting aggressive, when somebody starts trying to make that move that you wouldn't necessarily think. Maybe end up taking it to the top side, trying to go 3 wide. Maybe try to shove it in the middle, and then maybe the guy in front of you that will eventually be on the top side, the guy on the bottom, they might not know what you're thinking. So, you may end up sticking in the middle. They don't know about it. Guess what? That ends up causing all kinds of chaos. So, everybody, like I said, Cody McElwain talked about him 17th up to 11th now, but this top lane's starting to form up, starting to get everybody clear. It's Trebek and Tanner Bethea. They have actually cleared for just a second Wesley Lynch, but now here comes Wesley back on the inside.
Yeah, Wesley's going for this one at the moment. There, go Wes out there, says Carl Lynch. And Wes is going to be attacking on the outside there. Patrick's up at the top wall there. Tanner's still lurking in the background as Tanner's been doing there. Jamie, Chris Sawyer You'll hear a couple of bikes in my background there scooting it around Thursday night here in Panama City. They do like to do that. Very expensive motor vehicles out there, motorbikes of course, but 20 laps to go. You're getting closer and closer and closer to that green flag. I mean, green pit stops, my friend. The gasoline's starting to run out. You're running on vapors soon, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm sitting here actually watching. I'm waiting for these guys to be able to just go ahead, ease it down pit road and go ahead and get the fuel lined up. I mean, everybody's just basically just hanging it out there, keeping on going. I mean, what are they doing? I mean, they have to literally be trying to pull some kind of crazy deal about saving fuel. I mean, they got 60% of max fuel in these cars. So, I mean, you know, nobody's got a full tank. They're going to have to be able to make a pit stop right here, but nobody's trying to make that option yet as everybody's still trying to roll around. And we got a caution on the Speedway. It's got to be back there somewhere in the back. They had a stack up somewhere. Chance ends up getting spun around.
Oh, there it is.
Right here. Wow, what a checkup right there. Got slammed in the back end. Look like, I'm not sure exactly who that was. 58, Doug Ellingson ends up getting into the back of Chance, ends up spinning him around, and we have a caution on the Speedway.
Yeah, you said it. That's what that what do you call it? The cattle at the front of the thing, they lift the car completely up, didn't it? Absolutely lifts it up in the air there. Turned Chase around. Go back to that one. Who'd you say it was? If I'm not running, but Doug? Yep. It's Dougie, the 58. Dougie
Doug,
gives him a check up. There you go. The Doug stop.
Ooh.
You know that one out there, right? There you go. Little caught off guard there. That's our first caution. Now they've got to jump in the pit road. Absolutely, they have to, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah. They're going down right here now. Now, whether or not they decide to take tires or not at this point, Dean, that remains to be seen. It depends on how the car is handling. It depends on how everything's going. But back to that right there, whole deal right there. Obviously, I mean, you could look at it however you want to. You know, certain drivers will say what they want. I mean, really, I don't put that on Doug. I don't put that on anybody right there. That is a typical stack up. I mean, if you go all the way back before that contact was even made, there was stack ups going all the way from about the second row in front of them. And Doug right here, it's like I said, he's just sitting here riding. You will actually end up seeing a stack up at the front. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, and Doug, I mean, look at where the seat is right here. You can't see a damn thing right here. I mean, it just happens so quick. Doug, I mean, he tried to get on the brakes, ends up, spinning Chance Taylor around, and, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that is typical super speedway
Wesley
racing.
stays out, but everybody else has gone in. Sorry to cut you off on that one. No, I did. Sorry, my apologies. They're going in. I was going to say, what are you doing,
No,
mate?
Wesley went in.
What are you doing,
I'm telling
Wes?
you, everybody's going. Everybody's going. There ain't nobody staying out right here. They going in and get that fuel to be able to make it to the end. But like I was saying, Dean, I mean, that's typical super speedway racing. I mean, when you can't see what's going on in front of you, I mean, folks at home, think of it like this. If you can't see what's going on, what's your first thought? Well, your first thought is probably just going to pull over on the exit ramp and say, screw it, I'm not driving, I'm going back to the house. That would be your first option. But at that point, when you're going 190 miles an hour and you can't see what's going on, you just got to go with what happens. And when somebody slams on the brakes in front of you, you got to do what you got to do at that point. And he hit the brakes, but unfortunately, Chance Taylor ends up getting spun around. But like I said, no fault to anybody at that point. It is what it is. It's super speedway racing, Dean.
Yeah, you called it right there. So Patrick will come out ahead of this one, ahead of Wesley, actually, out of those pit stops there. And then a little bit further back, you got Jamie, Alex Cruz, another Jamie Barkas, Jake doing a good job there up into P6 there, and Cody, 10 positions gained for that number 6 machine there from the Alabama driver, my friend.
I like how you said that. Alabama driver. Gilbertown, Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama. That's what would be all screaming out in Australia. Yeah, there you go.
That's how we roll down here in the South. Yeah. Love to see drivers from the South, and love to see drivers from all walks of life. I mean, that's what we want to see is, numerous drivers from all over, parts of, the country or the world or whatever. And folks out there in the live chat, we want to hear where you're from. I mean, you ain't got to tell us your address because, we're not caring about that. But who are you pulling for from your neck of the woods? That's what we're wanting to see here out on the track. We want to hear who you are pulling for.
8675 Wallaby Creek, the Outback, if you want it. There you go. 8675 Wallaby Creek, the Outback, right near the Billabong, just around the corner there from Pine Gap.
We're gonna end up changing your nickname from the Australian to the Outback Man. We already got an Outback Kid. We're gonna have to go with the Outback Man. So, but
Good,
I
good
mean,
luck trying to
everybody.
find me out in the middle of nowhere too, mate. Good on you. You're gonna need that one. Takes about 2 months to get mail out there.
Oh Lord, yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, honestly, I haven't got mail here in a while, and all of it's been my wife. So I'm actually starting to wonder whether or not I live here or not. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't care. Hey, that's less bills on my part. I ain't got nothing to worry about on that. But anyway, we'll get back to the racing. Get away from our personal lives for a second here, and get back to the racing. Patrick Trebek, he went in. He didn't take any tires right there. He had to not took any tires because he absolutely just straight up went out and he was gone. Wesley Lynch will come out second. Jamie Mullins will be third. Alex Cruz, how about this? 12th up to 4th. Just one little caution ends up happening, and then everything just changes. Everybody starts swapping around. So Cruz up to 4th. Jamie Barkis is going to be in 5th. Jacob Ellingson will be in the 6th spot. Brandon Wallace 7th. Jeremiah Holt, who was up there battling for the lead at one point, will be back in 8th. Andy Kurtz will be 9th. And how about this? Bobby Germain started 21st, the last driver to actually take grid. Started 21st, now he's all the way up 10th.
I was about to say, I said this last night as well too. If you have a name called Bobby and you're driving in the ARCA series around Daytona, well, that's a great name to have, isn't it? Bobby's just suited for motor racing driving. I love that name, Bobby. Good on you, my friend. Yep, in P10, gaining 11 positions too. So we'll see about it, but it's all about Patrick. And none of that what happened last night at the Goat Locker series as well too, like that pushing, as you said. Because they pushed themselves, the two drivers that first and second, they pushed themselves to the race win together, working. But you can't do that. You saw a little bit of a shove that happened earlier. A pace car's going to peel in at the moment. The only car with the lights on at the moment there. And let's have a look at Barney. Barney, got that flag ready, Barney? Yes, you do. Over to you, my friend.
Barney the flagman going to wave that green flag, and Nathan Hall out there in the chat. 3 people in this chat live 12 minutes away from Wesley Lynch. I'm telling you, that small town USA, how about that right there for Wesley Lynch? And how about Wesley Lynch up at the front? He's going to take a shot at Patrick Trebek. He's going to be up on that top side, try to see if he can get all he can get from Alex Cruz. Maybe he'll be able to get clear. Jamie Mullins back down on the bottom. He's going to try to help Patrick Trebek. Everybody basically in pace formation once again. I mean, same song, different dance right now, Dean. But the only difference is it's 15 laps to go. We're getting very, very close to the end of this thing. Who's going to make that move and try to be able to get up there and get the win here at Daytona? We're going to find out here very, very shortly, but I got a feeling everybody is getting really antsy. You see guys slipping and sliding back there in the back. It's starting to get intense, Dean.
I think Wesley's got that fan club out there more than anybody. I'm hearing the crowd the virtual crowd you can hear screaming. They're screaming for Wesley. Patrick's going to have to do something about that. James give him a bit of a push there. Alex Cruz on the top side, the number 5, is going to give him a bit of a push, comes to shove there. And then the rest of the field are starting to fall back into play. 14 laps are going to go pretty quickly. When it comes to 10, my friend, that's when, you know, it's up to yourself there, all right? Your best mate, like Jacob, you know what? I mean, you're a good bloke, you know. I'll have a beer with you any day of the week, but you and me racing side by side comes to 10 to go. I'm gonna door bang you, my friend, into that fence if it requires I need to win the race.
Yeah, how about this right here? John Anthony, I believe it was, he had enough. No, that is Tanner Bethea. How about that? He's had enough of it. He had enough of all this 2-wide racing. He stuck it straight in the middle and almost ended up turning somebody back there. Even the 99 of Brandon Wallace ended up almost sending him. Now this aggression is starting to pick up, Dean. Now it's all getting crazy here at Daytona. Jake Ellingson took it 3 wide for just a second. Jumped it right in front of Tanner Bethea. Now, all the aggression, as I was talking about, it actually started a little bit faster than what I thought it was going to be. But here we go. Already pushing it 3 wide. Already trying to set themselves up for that last 5 laps, that last 3 laps, however they want to look at it. But wow, it got aggressive big time. Tanner Bethea took it 3 wide, and even Jake Ellingson took it 3 wide for a moment. I'm telling you, watch it. Here goes Bethea. He tries to look at it again.
Yeah, he's the only one. He just say, let's go, you know, 2 to tango, 3 to dance, gentlemen. He wants to get just 3 breast here with 12 laps to go. Unfortunately, the door's been shut quietly on a lot of those drivers. Patrick and Wesley still going for a 2 for nail there. at the front there.
There you go.
Oh,
Jake
there's
Ellington
contact.
in the fence. Tanner Bethea gets into Jake, spins him around the whole damn field, starting to
Oh,
pile up on
no.
the backstretch. A lot of drivers able to get by, but Jake Ellington gets tagged from Tanner Bethea, and it's like I said, Dean, that aggression was gonna happen. And then eventually all hell was gonna break loose, and that's exactly what happened. Tanner Bethea tried to take a shot to the top side. Jake Ellington may or may not have come over. We'll check it out on the instant replay to get an idea of exactly what happened. But I think maybe Bethea maybe just hooked a hard left and maybe tried to get back in behind Jake and try to get back in line. But I think actually Tanner probably spun him out.
I think you might be right. And both, I'm sorry that Ray look away at the moment there, man, because you got to see both the boys go out on this one, really. Just like that, Jacob. Explain that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right there, that had nothing to do with it right there. I think Tanner Bethea, he took a shot, went to the top, had the 00. John Anthony right behind him. There you see it right there. And, oh, man, I mean, I'm telling you, that is tight right there. I don't think Tanner, yeah, Tanner was coming down, but Jake was coming up a little bit. That's a racing incident. And, I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of drivers end up getting involved. You see Doug Ellison, check out Tanner. I mean, hell, he got some airtime more than honestly, got more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games right there. I mean, he was literally up in the air, up under somebody literally drove up under him and used the snowplow as I was talking about, Dean. So there you go. But, that's just hard to call right there because both of them looked like they were kind of going for the same spot. Tanner was drifting down. Jake was drifting up, but I think Tanner was actually drifting down more than Jake was drifting up. So, they kind of met in the middle right there. I mean, that's hard to call in those instances right there, Dean, because you really don't know what exactly they're thinking. But I will say this. Everybody's probably a little bit upset about it right now, at least with the guys that got involved in that caution.
Yeah, but I saw a few of them going to go about the pit road at the moment there. You can see Chris there, of course. There's Doug, there's Jake, and Patrick, and Bobby, and Tanner already was in pit road at the moment getting those repairs done. So, well, it's up to them to see if they could do anything about it. Can they catch back up onto the lead lap? There goes John Anthony. He's going to come back out. Look at that little track map up there to try to get an idea where it all is happening there. Of course, it's underneath the Goat Locker Racing logo as well, of course, the Veterans for Life. So they're going to catch back up. They should catch back up. Patrick is to the group right now that you can see on your screen. So should be good to go, I'd say. Everybody in the lead lap. 10 laps to go. This is when it's going to get spicy for the dicey. As Jeremy, of course, is out there. Hello. Jeremy Gardner's going to win the race tonight. Jeremy, my friend.
Where you at, Jeremy?
Yeah,
Where
you can't,
at, brother?
you can't, my friend, because you're not on the bloody track, okay? So, unfortunately, yep, you can do it from the sidelines if you shout as much as possible. But, Jeremy, give us your picks out there, mate. What do you reckon? Patrick could take this one there. Wesley, Jamie, Alex. A lot of big guns here ready to prove they can get it done here for the Goat Locker ARCA Series. Veteran for Life Foundation.
Yes, sir. And Jeremy Garner, who we're talking about in the chat, folks, Jeremy Garner actually won the championship last season when it was the trucks for the Jam Printing and Promotions Truck Series. And just as I say Jam Printing and Promotions, let's go ahead and let's talk about Jam Printing and Promotions. They're from Plainfield, Indiana, and they are a local, they are local. They are veteran certified, and when they do well, they can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with the Goat Locker Racing Series since the very beginning. They provide Goat Locker Racing with all promotional items that includes hats, shirts, decals, dog tags, hell, you name it at this point. Jam is Goat Locker Racing's go-to promotional company. So, absolutely, Jam Printing Promotions, they've done a lot of things, like I said, for the Goat Locker Racing Series. And, honestly, Dean, it was awesome to see them last season when they sponsored the truck series on Thursday nights. Me and you had the pleasure of calling those. Obviously, Nazareth 360's Brady LaBeouf Brady LaBeouf, Blake Lothian, I'm sorry, was here as well. Get them two mixed up sometimes, but Blake was here, and and Blake done a fantastic job. But that was a fantastic season last season when Jeremy Gardner get us out there right there at the end. Patrick Trebek was right in the middle of it too, but Jeremy Gardner ends up getting the win.
Jeremy's saying Jeremy's going to win the race tonight, of course, as well, too, as he mentioned there. Don't forget about Right Now Roofing. That's one of our new sponsors that we have here for the ARCA series. So keep an eye on that one as well. And, of course, we also do have, and I was going to say, the lovely Red Beard Design Co. So keep an eye on that one as well, too. So Patrick just on the edge there. 5 positions gained for the 0-7 machine there. The crowd favorite out there, Wesley, in the 33 machine, looking in to get that little crowd favorite little shove across the line there with 9 laps or so to go there, maybe 8 change. Jacob, anything can happen, anything will happen, anything, a kiss, of course, from Nicole Kidman. We go to the medical center at Daytona.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody loves that kiss from Nicole Kidman. And, you talked about Wesley Lynch, got that fan club going on out there on YouTube. Obviously, Wesley Lynch from Lincolnton, North Carolina, up there on the front row. Green flag back in the air. Patrick Trebek's going to get a good restart. He's going to have Jamie Mullins right behind him. Jamie Mullins actually started on the pole, but how about this? Alex Cruz started 12th. He's all the way up to 4th. We're going to see exactly what's going to happen right here. Is anybody going to get aggressive like they did just a second ago with Tanner Bethea and Jake Ellingson end up getting in that little bit of a spat, I guess you could say, coming off a turn 2. Everybody knows that it is possible. Everybody knows that the big one can happen because there's plenty of cars out there, Dean, that can make this big one happen. We'll see what happens right now, but Wesley Lynch really trying to fight hard on this top side. Alex Cruz right behind him. They are trying to get up here and get around Patrick Trebek and take the lead of this race as they're working their way off.
They're getting it done, Jacob. They know that there's 8 laps to go. Now it's push come to shove there. Make that 7. 7, Patrick and Wesley be going tooth and nail at the moment. They're pushed along there by Jamie and Alex. And then the other Jamie and Andy. This is it. Crunch time for the Veteran for Life ARCA series. Who wants to win that? It tastes sweeter when you're at the top step. At the moment, Patrick leading there. Jamie gets a little push on the outside there. And Wesley's fallen back a little bit into P3. I've lost you a little bit there. Go ahead there. Come on, Rednecker outside and outside. Get it done. He sounds like a robot at the moment. You might want to join and reconnect, my friend. We need the Rednecker outside to announce it. 6 to go. Patrick's still leading. Oh, we can't lose
we're
Jacob.
back, Dean.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob. We got you. We
And
got you.
we are back, and here we go. Patrick Trebek trying to work the bottom side. Jamie Mullins down here on the bottom. Sorry about that one, folks. And then here we go. Jamie Barkus up here as well. Here he comes. Got that man up there, that man on a mission from Lincolntown, North Carolina. Wesley Lynch trying to work this top side. He's trying to get Alex Cruz, trying to help him. Give me a little shove, trying to throw it all the way back to 2000 at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt trying to get Kenny Wallace, just trying to give him a shove. Come on, Kenny. That's exactly what Wesley Lynch is saying to Alex Cruz.
Got it right there. It's glad to have you back there, my friend. I don't want you to call. I don't want to call the end of this one. I got to point the cameras in the right direction. Patrick's still leading at the moment there. Jamie put a bit of pressure on. Then the other Jamie, got 2 Jamies, the 66 and the 15. Wesley's down at 33 car in the 4th place. He needs a bit of help there. Cody up 11 positions there in P5, P6. But can Patrick hold on? He's left alone a little bit there. Now, they can't be helping him out anymore. Nobody wants Patrick to win this if you're the likes of Jamie and Wesley in P2 and P3.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to help him right here, obviously, because why, Dean? They want to get out here and win the damn race just as much as Patrick does. I mean, nobody wants to try to help anybody at this point. But you got to find your friends where you can find them. 4 laps to go. Patrick Trebek holding on to the lead. Here comes Wesley Lynch trying to get something to work up on this top side, but Jamie Mullins going to be able to push Patrick Trebek clear. Where will the 3 wide start at this point, Dean? That's what we're waiting on. Who's going to try to stick it in the middle? This is basically a ticking time bomb here at Daytona as everybody's starting to slide around. Here
There it
comes
is.
one. Smack dab up the middle. Guess who? Jake Ellingson sending around about 4 of them on the bottom side. And now Jake has moved up to the 3rd car on the bottom side.
Oh,
now
there's door
bumping
banging.
and banging. Oh, big time door banging with Jamie Mullins and Wesley Lynch.
I was going to say, oh,
Oh,
there
he
it
turns
is.
him right in the fence. He turned Jamie Mullins right into the fence. Wesley Lynch gets involved. Whole damn field. One more flipping up in the air going into turn 1. Caution on the Speedway, D.
You knew it was going to happen. I was actually looking for Chance Taylor back there somewhere because he's the one that will go three abreast. He won't even blink an eye on that one, but unfortunately he's way, way back. But now it's going to give him a bit of a shot at this one. With caution on the Speedway as our famous redneck announcer will enable that one. Patrick gets a bit of a breathing space, but Jake now in P2. Let's have a look at what happened.
Yeah, let's see exactly what happened right here. And I mean, at the time, folks, I mean, it looked like, you know, honestly, yeah, I mean, Wesley comes down right there. At the time, you know, I was sitting there thinking maybe Jamie came up. Maybe Jamie come up, thought he was clear, and tried to jump in front of Wesley and maybe go ahead and try to get that shot to get around Patrick Trebek, but it didn't happen. Actually, Wesley, I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe if he got tagged in the back, we'll have to check it out from another angle, maybe see it from, you know, another replay. But I don't think Cruz touched him. I don't think Cruz touched him at all right there. I think he just kind of just lost it, turned down into him. Yeah, Cruz, he's not even touching him right there. Cruz never touched him. Yeah, I mean, huge gap right there.
Whoa.
And Lynch comes straight down. Cruz, hell, he's got nowhere to go, ends up spinning Mullins around. There you see Jake, he ends up going by. Andy Kurtz ends up going by. A lot of guys end up going by, but then that's when the whole stack up happens. And then, wow, I'm telling you right now, that number 5, Alex Cruz, took a hellacious ride coming out of the trial.
Yeah, you called that one perfectly. It was brewing up to be a foundation, and of course the foundation itself, of course, the Veterans for Life Foundation. Great battle race here at Daytona. Patrick still had to look at all that in his mirrors, didn't he? He's like, what is going on at that point? But that'll actually bring other players into the play. The players want to play. Of course, Taylor Swift would let you know about that one. Jake now P2, Andy P3, Jamie Barker's P4, Brandon Wallace started where he is at the moment, but Cody up 11 positions in that P6, not too far away from a potential race win. Few drivers coming into pit road.
Yep, got a couple of them coming in pit road, and honestly, Nate, I mean, I got to go ahead and just say this, and folks, I'm sorry if I upset you at this point, but Taylor Swift, really? I mean, you're going to go with that? Look, I'm a redneck. I'm a redneck announcer. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I don't even care. I mean, I know that she dates that guy.
My
from
ex-girlfriend
the
dragged me to a New Jersey concert for that one when we were in New York.
You poor
okay,
man.
So, yeah.
Poor man. Everybody
know.
out there in the live chat.
I'm sorry, but she's a good-looking Sheila, so what am I going to do, right? You know? I mean, not Taylor Swift, but my ex-girlfriend. Anyway, let's get back to this one, my friend. Let's get off the Taylor Swift and let's get back onto the ARCA. I haven't lost you again, have I? I think he's just mad at me now, talking about Taylor Swift. Jacob, do you have a copy? Jacob! Jacob, you have a copy. I do apologize. My dingo may have chewed his cable off. Patrick leading this one from Jake and Andy. Pace car lights are on. We still have time. Everybody in the chat out there, welcome. Here you go. Jacob, you're back.
Yeah, we're back, man. I'm telling you, this new internet I got, I may end up having to, as bad as I got to say it, end up telling Verizon Wireless to stick it because apparently it is
Stick it
not
up
working
there.
out as much.
You
Yeah,
got
there
it.
you go. You end up telling them. I mean, trying it out for a little bit. I'm going to tell you right now, don't end up trying it if you decide to be a broadcaster, folks. Verizon Wireless, now great cell phone service. Fantastic cell phone service, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you end up wanting to try it for your home internet, you end up being a broadcaster, don't do it. I'll tell you that much. I guarantee you that will be cleared up next week. Promise you that. So, folks, sorry about the technical difficulties. It's on my end, and it will be fixed 100%
You
next
got it,
week.
Jacob. Sorry, mate. I
Guaranteed.
thought it was my dingo that I bring over there as a pet there, chewing on your cable again. But I apologise about that one, mate.
No, that one's all on me. I mean, folks, it was a trial and error, and I apologize 100% for it. And, even Ray's sitting there saying, God, you sound like you're yelling for him. So, sorry. Sorry for you, Dean. If you're yelling for me, brother, I'm sorry about it.
You're on, my friend, because the pace car lights is off. 3 laps to go. Everybody still has a shot there, but Jake, at the moment, their race probably screaming out there at the moment. There, come on, Jake, get it done. The Jake star. But Patrick still holding firm at the top end of the sheets there, with the likes of a few other of these gladiators making their way around, of course, for the kiss of all kisses of Nicole Kidman waiting there in pit road. Jacob, what do you reckon, my friend? Gonna see green to the end, or are we in a bit of a trouble again? Again, I think I just lost Jacob again too. Come on, Jacob, get back in time, my friend. Barney's waving the flag. In a minute. Still holding that yellow. Oh, he switched it. There it is. That's a green, Barney. As the Geico zone there, that pace car will peel in. The only lights on the car, because the other lights, of course, are all fictional. They don't actually have any race lights on these cars. Jacob, are you back there, my friend? Let's go racing. Oh, as Wesley's PC has died. So it's up to Jake now, and Patrick and Andy. They ought to go for a tooth and nail here. 2 laps to go here at Daytona for the Veterans of Life ARCA Series. Plenty can do it there. Patrick's back in P8 currently at the moment there. We're still waiting, of course, for the Red Decker announcer to sort that Verizon internet that he's having a little bit of a struggle with. But are you there, Jacob?
We are back. We are back. We finally had enough of it. I think we may end up throwing it out there in the backyard at this point, but here we go. Coming down, last lap, Patrick Trebek, Jake Ellingson. Down on the bottom, Jake may end up having a shot at this whole thing when it's all said and done, but who's going to end up trying to take it 3 wide? Who's going to end up trying to make that push? It's going to make it too much. Jake Ellingson down on the bottom, bell lap here at Daytona for the season opener of the Veterans for Life ARCA Series. Jake down on the bottom, Patrick Trebek trying to come down.
He's
Give
got
him
it.
some side draft. Here we come. All of them coming down the backstretch. Who's going to get the run? Patrick Trebek's going to get the shove. Jamie Barkus trying to shove him, trying to help him as much as they can, but Jake Ellingson may have this sucker in the bag as he's going to get caught in front of Patrick Trebek straight into the fence. Andy Kurtz coming out of nowhere in the number 8. He is going to win it here at Daytona in a wild last lap pass, or last lap finish, if you will. Andy Kurtz in the number 8, throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Budweiser car, ends up getting a win at Daytona.
Just like that in the final dying stages of the race, it's all over for the drivers that potentially could have had it, but Andy stuck through there. He got it done for the 8 machine. He's going to be happy with that one. You got to be in it to see Barney waving that checkered flag. That's the thing. You can't just wait. It ain't over yet in the final couple of corners. Cody, good job there. 14 positions gained there for the 8 machine. You don't need no discounts on your tyres, my friend. Your tyres delivered the job that they needed to be delivered. But Andy, well, my friend, have a Budweiser on me.
Absolutely. The Bud is on Dean apparently now for this whole deal right here. Andy Kurtz. Wow, new face. Dean, new face coming out here, getting the win here at Daytona. And he's going to burn them down right here on the front stretch. We'll go ahead and give you a rundown of the top 5. We'll say top 6 because we got one driver that we got to talk about right here. Hell, there's the results for you right there. Andy Kurtz, you see him burning it down right here. Andy Kurtz gets the win. Brandon Wallace, didn't talk about him a whole lot here in this race. He ends up finishing second. Cody McElwain will finish third. As Dean mentioned, started 17th. He ends up finishing third. Jeremiah Holt will finish fourth. Good drive for him. Will Bethea will finish in the fifth spot. Patrick Dixon will end up finishing sixth. He started 20th in this field, literally back there at the back. I mean, held 21 cars, ended up starting 20th. He ends up finishing sixth. Jamie Barkus will finish seventh. How about Chris Sawyer starting in the, finishing, Chaz Taylor skipped one right there. Chaz Taylor ended up finishing eighth. Chris Sawyer will end up finishing ninth. And Jamie Mullins, how about that right there? Number 66 ends up finishing 10th. How about Bobby Germain? Check this out right here. Started 21st, finishes 11th. How about that right there? That's a drive right there for 10 spots. Granted, it wasn't as much as Cody, but anyway, he ends up finishing 11th. Patrick Trebek will finish 12th after all that craziness that happened right there on the last lap. Doug Ellingson will finish 13th. James Gosham will finish 14th. John Anthony will finish 15th. Jake Ellingson, unfortunately, will end up finishing in the 16th spot. Johnny Cofield will end up finishing 17th. Alex Cruz finishes in 18th. Wesley Lynch, hate to see it for him, started up there in the fourth. Lincolntown, North Carolina, they're going to have to wait till next Thursday if they want to see him try to get a win. He will finish in the 19th spot. And Tanner Bethea will finish 20th. The last driver to grid up was Cameron Mason, who lost it right there at the early portions of the race. Started 19th. He will finish in the 21st spot. Folks, do not go anywhere. Just sit tight for just a brief second. We'll be right back with our podium finishers here for the Veterans for Life ARCA series here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
Folks, welcome back to Daytona, and wow, what a finish all the way down to the end. I mean, you can't get much more crazy than what we saw right there. And hell, let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's go ahead and bring in the winner. How about this? Andy Kurtz, out of nowhere, literally. I mean, literally just right place, right time right there. Anthony Kurtz from Bethlehem. How about that right there? Andy Kurtz, congratulations on the win. Tell us about your race, buddy.
Thanks, man. Yeah, awesome to really just be in the right spot at the right time there at the end. Had a ton of fun. Qualified okay, I think 10th or so, and just taking it easy. The first sort of stint there, first 20 laps, super clean. Just running pretty much double file, and didn't really want to push the issue at all. So just cruising around. Then we had the caution. Took some tires and fuel, and you could tell intensity picked up a little bit, and couple cautions later, yeah, just kind of in the right spot there. So at the end, my goal was really just push Jake best I could, and if I would get a run, or if we would clear the outside line, maybe try to go up and pass him, but really just trying to push Jake the best I could. But yeah, that's just Daytona racing, so led the right one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and Andy, I mean, we saw a lot of 2 wide racing. Maybe saw a little bit of 3 wide back there. Saw Jake take a shot. Saw Tanner Bethia, some drivers back there in the back try to take a shot. But it seemed like for the most part, all the way through the race, everybody was just basically 2 wide. I mean, honestly, I mean, from your point of view, was everybody just kind of content, or was, I guess you could say, you content running just 2 wide, or was it just the package that just makes it to where you can't really make any moves?
Yeah, I mean, I was content for, like I said, that first run. I mean, if you got to go 3 wide, I mean, don't get me wrong, you could definitely go 3 wide here. This track, it doesn't really look like it when you're watching, but this track is quite a bit more narrow than Talladega, so it's pretty tough running 3 wide here and making sure that you're not getting into anyone. So I don't think it's worth the risk early in the race, but at the end, you sort of expect it, because like you saw, I mean, that's really the only way to really pass people. So I was content, but just kind of waiting for other things to happen before I would do that.
Pretty much like what happened on the last lap, I guess. That's pretty
right,
much what
yeah.
was waiting on, I guess, right there,
What I was
Andy.
waiting for.
Well, Andy, congratulations on the win. And I mean, new driver coming into this right here. That's got to be big right there. I mean, very first race here with Goat Locker. Very first race here. I mean, that's just got to be, I mean, big for you. I mean, just coming out, I mean, making a splash. First race, coming out winning Daytona. It's got to be a big time confidence booster going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm really not the biggest super speedway racer, so to get one here, definitely pumped about it, especially in the Dale Jr. car. So yeah, really happy about that. It's great to be back racing with the GLR guys here. Really happy to be on board. This was my first league I ever ran with a couple of years ago, and just happy to be able to make the Thursday nights again with them. So, and I love this car too. So looking forward to a good season.
Yeah, I mean, I love this car too. And I mean, by the paint scheme, I mean, the car, no, but the paint scheme, love the paint scheme, for driving point of it. But Andy, before we let you go, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible, sir?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I want to thank you guys doing an awesome broadcast for us. Looking forward to watching them all this season. NASRA 360 Racing Network. Also want to thank Veterans for Life Foundation, Cruising Classics, Jam Printing and Promotions, Right Now Roofing, and Red Beard Design Company for everyone helping us put the season together.
Well, Andy Kurtz, how about that right there? First race back with the Goat Locker Racing Series. Ended up getting the win. Probably going to end up leading the points. I mean, you ought to be at this point leading the points going into next week. Andy, congratulations on the win and appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
That was Andy Kurtz, ended up getting the win, and I'm telling you, Dean, I absolutely love that paint scheme. I got to be honest with you, love the paint scheme. I was a Dale Jr. fan at heart, but I mean, awesome, to see Andy get out here, get the win. I mean, kind of lucked into it, but he still got the win, so good win for him. But Dean, are you catching up with our second place finisher, Mr. Brandon Wallace?
Yeah, we got Brandon here at the moment there, but Andy, of course, you got to be in it. Andy was in it to win it, you see, because the two cars that were out in front there had that possibility to win it, but of course they tangled, and he took the opportunity, and Brandon Wallace, of course, has seized the opportunity for the 99 machine there. Brandon, what a race, my friend. How was that for your first race of the season here at the ARCA Series?
Man, it was hard to pass. You just kind of had to stay and bide your time and hope for the best outcome, super speedway racing. So you just point it there and see how the ending falls.
Yeah, Jacob, you got to give him some questions there from a racing driver, my friend. Hey,
Well,
Jacob.
I mean, but you talked about it right there just a second ago. I mean, you talked about that it was hard to pass, if I'm not mistaken. If that's what I thought you said, it was hard to pass. I mean, we talked to Andy about it. He said, that you could go 3 wide, but everybody was just kind of biding their time. Do you disagree with what Andy said right there?
No, you could go 3 wide. It's a little tight, and you're bouncing, and you take that risk of just getting killed and not finishing the race. So I really figured we were going to go more 3 wide towards the end.
All right, tell us how you really feel about that one, Brandon. I guess
Hey,
just getting killed, I guess.
I like 3 wide. I was one of the ones waiting for it.
You was waiting for it, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I was waiting for it too. We was all up here waiting for it. But Brandon, I mean, obviously, like Dean touched on, new guy coming into the series. I talked to Andy about it as well. But new guy coming into the series, first race of the season, coming out, finishing second. I mean, big time momentum booster for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great to come out and have. Like I said, I was not prepared to have that finish. I really figured that someone was going to get junked or was going to kill the car early on, and so just kind of stayed there, 2nd to 7th or so all race, and things fell our way.
Absolutely. Brandon Wallace from Odessa getting up here, finishing second. How about that, Mr. Brandon Wallace? Before we let you go, sir, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible?
Yeah, man. I want first thank you guys in the broadcast booth. I know it's tough doing what you guys do. You guys do an awesome job. Obviously, the Goat Locker Racing guys, Jamie and Pat, and even Jake sometimes, but what they do here, the Veterans for Life, the Cruising Classics, Jam Printing and Promotions, all the guys that help support the league and what they're doing with the veterans, it's just awesome. It's great to be a part of the league.
Oh, you got to do a little door banging right at the end there. And look at the replay there. Somebody turned in on you and your door bang, and you just stuck that thing straight there and followed the 8 all the way to the line there. Congratulations there, Brandon, for the P2.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
That was Brandon Wallace, fifth second. Dean, you talked about it right there. Got a little bit of a door right there.
Yeah,
and
mate.
then, but honestly, I mean, you can look at it however you want to, but it looked like he may end up, or the guy that doored him, may have had just a little bit of help from guess who? Our third place finisher, which is Cody McAway. So Cody McAway, obviously one of the veterans on the Thursday night with the Goat Locker Racing Series. And Cody, I mean, hell of a finish all the way to the end. I mean, you started 17th, ended up finishing right here at the podium, and you get the pleasure of talking to the Australian and the redneck announcer. But how was the race for you, sir?
It's good, man. It's just typical plate racing for me. I try to just survive it, just kind of cruise around in the back. Take spots when I can get them, work my way up front and try to just be around at the front towards the end. And it worked out that way tonight. And luckily we dodged all the mess there at the end and come away with the podium, like you said. And now here I am talking to you guys. So it worked out good.
Awesome. Well, and obviously from Gilberttown, Alabama, from I guess you could say one redneck to another. Congratulations by 9 ways of Sunday, and no offense to everybody else, but anyway, Cody, I mean, you ran with the series last season. Obviously, they ran in the trucks, and now they've completely swapped. Now it's from the trucks all the way to the ARCA series. Just kind of give everybody kind of, I guess you could say, a difference from a driver's point of view, the difference between, I guess you could say, the trucks and the ARCA cars, and why it's going to be a significant change going into this season.
Well, to be honest with you, they're both really a momentum, kind of stock car. I mean, not so much, I guess, on these kind of tracks. They're really similar on a drafting track like this, minus not being able to bump, but bump draft. Like we were all talking throughout the race tonight, you couldn't really bump. You just had to kind of get there and then lean in on them. So that's definitely a huge difference right off the top between this car and the truck. But I think, honestly, the two aren't way different when you're on when we get to like mile and a half and short tracks and stuff like that. These probably have a little bit more power, I guess, coming off the corner, but I don't think it's going to be a huge change for everybody. I think it'll transition pretty well.
Cody McAway ended up getting a podium finish. Like I said, 17th all the way up to 3rd. Fantastic drive out of that number 6. And Cody, before we let you go, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible, sir?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank all our great sponsors here at Goat Locker Racing. Cruising Classics, they've been around for a while. Can't thank those guys enough. Same with Jam Printing and Promotions. Red Beard Design Company. We've got Right Now Roofing started this season with us. And then I'd like to thank the sponsor of this particular series, Veterans for Life Foundation. Just can't thank those guys enough for what they're doing for us. And just like to thank you guys, Nazra Racing 360 Racing Network, just for what y'all do, man. Y'all do a great job, and we sure appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Cody McElwain, getting third here tonight. Cody, congratulations on third place, and might be talking to you in Victor Lane next week. Hell, who knows?
Hey, maybe so, man. Hope to see y'all soon.
Gave a little push to that car on the inside line there. I just noticed there in the replay there too, my friend, as it all went pearl-shaped on the outside. That's the number 2, I think it was. A little bit of door banging, but hey, my friend, you're foaming at the mouth for a bit of the podium, and you got the podium there. GG's, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
That's Cody McElwain, indeed. You just had to throw that in there.
I didn't know, mate. Hey, we call it as we see it, all right, here at the Nazra Network. You know, we don't beat around the bush like a billabong.
Hell, you got to do what I mean, you call it like you see it, but dude, honestly, your take on this race, because it kind of threw us for a curveball, because we had a lot of stuff that we thought was going to end up happening, and it really didn't happen. But I'm telling you, what a crazy finish! It's like I said earlier, Daytona. You never know who's going to win it. You never know who's going to win at the last minute. And sure enough, out of nowhere, Andy Kurtz comes out of nowhere, gets a gift, I guess you could say, ends up getting a win. Your take on the race, sir?
But that's the thing, my friend. Like, you got to be in it to win it, doesn't it? If you go back in P5, P6, P7, it doesn't really matter. You know that there's going to be beef up the road there because everybody's going to chase to the line like a rabbit, isn't it? In a dog race, it's like they're going to go there and they're going to do their absolute best. And if they get door banging, bang, you got to be in the right place at the right time. And points are points. So there it is. But you can't take it away. It's not a gift that much, is it, from Andy, Brandon, and Cody, because they still had to be in those crucial places, my friend, to see what happens up the road there. And of course, if they go into that fence there and have a bit of a tangle, then you capitalize on those moments, my friend, because they don't always come around every single day of the week.
Absolutely. You got to be at the right place, the right time. That's exactly how super speedway racing works. And obviously, like you said, Andy, Brandon, and Cody, they was in the right spot. Obviously, Jeremiah Holt also right there fourth, and then Will Bethia able to get fifth. So everybody pretty much in the right place, the right time. It's just, stuff happens, and that's all the way that you can look at it. But folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast. Obviously, want to thank all the sponsors: Jam Printing and Promotions, Premier Racing Setups, Cruising Classics, Right Now Roofing, Red Beard Design Company, and guess what? Verizon. See, I still got Verizon on my mind right there.
Me? Don't talk about them.
Yeah, Veterans for Life Foundation, obviously the sponsor for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. What a fantastic race here tonight on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Also want to thank Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, everybody within the Nazareth 360 Racing Network for giving us the pleasure of calling these races and letting us be ourselves every single Thursday night. So thank you very much for that. That is the Australian, or the Australian, however you want to look at it. Mr. Dean Hopton, Dean Biggles. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Folks, I'm telling you, this season, it has just started. There is no telling what's going to happen. We've already seen all the craziness already happen. And guess what? Next week, we're going to be at Worldwide Technology Raceway out in St. Louis, Missouri. That's going to be a fun one here for these ARCA cars. We'll see how everything turns out next week here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Until then, everybody be safe, be kind, and be fast. We'll see you next week at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. feel